Hello, everyone. This is Howard Fox, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series, the podcast that celebrates individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Marcia Hurd and Dawn Andone are our guests today. Marcia is the Executive Director for the Lincoln County Authority of Tourism in Nevada, and Dawn is an interpretive ranger with the Nevada State Parks. And I'm excited today for this chat with Marcia and Dawn because they're going to chat about their dark sky preservation and awareness initiative. And this is a process that they are undertaking to get Spring Valley State Park here in Nevada designated as an official international dark sky park. I am excited. And I'm excited, Marcia and Dawn, to have you on the podcast. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Howard.
Thanks, Howard. And I like your background that you've chosen for today. It's perfect for this discussion.
I thank you so much. I was chatting with Dawn before you had arrived that it's funny, next week I have Francisco Silva talking about the Las Vegas Astronomical Society. And I just figured you both probably know Francisco because of the dark skies and the events that take place up oftentimes in Lincoln County. And so it's wonderful to hear about this initiative that you're all involved with. And so what I'd love first is just to get to know a little bit more about each of you. Marcia, I'll start with you as the Executive Director for the Lincoln County Authority of Tourism. Tell us a little bit about your job and a little bit about just this involvement in this initiative.
That's my job is wearing multiple hats. And so one of that is doing grants and grant writing. And when we saw that the Nevada Department of Outdoor Recreation and did an infrastructure grant for encouraging for dark skies and what have you, we definitely jumped on that bandwagon because we have a lot of designated dark sky viewing areas here. So, but as far as our organization, we are a nonprofit organization that promotes tourism, and we do that through marketing and advertising primarily, that we maintain the websites, we encourage events, support events. So that's our job as Lincoln County Authority of Tourism. Okay. We are not part of the county. We are independent.
Okay, very good. And Dawn, share a little bit about your background.
Well, I have been with parks here in Lincoln County for over 16 years. And my job as an interpretive ranger is to basically interpret nature and to help with these different kinds of initiatives that we do, take people on programs, set up events such as the Las Vegas Astronomical Society. They come here twice a year, actually, to Cathedral Gorge State Park in Lincoln County. And so I work with them to set up their events, one in the spring and one in the fall. So those are the kinds of things that I do. But our region actually runs from Caliente in Lincoln County all the way up to the Idaho border. But
oh, really?
It's a big region. But within Lincoln County, that's where most of our parks are. We have 6 of them right here.
I had not realized that you had so many parks. And I'm excited a little bit later. We'll go into the website because I have been to Cathedral Gorge and I taking some photos. I think I was showing you my background on my desktop. And then I spent a rather long evening in Echo Park doing a time lapse of the Milky Way. And so I'm excited to go back and remind myself what that time lapse looked like. But this is very exciting. And I'm curious, Marcia, as you began to get interested in this initiative, how did this idea start to percolate from this, look at what they're doing, or this idea, into something now you're actively involved with?
Well, that's a good question. I think typically what happens is I take for granted our dark skies out here. I mean, I can walk out on my back porch and see the Milky Way. And I get to talking to tourists who come through and they're like, oh, I can't believe these skies. And we're like, wow, we shouldn't keep this a secret. So that's part of where this was motivated. It's like people don't even realize the depth of the difference between the city's night sky and the rural night sky. And we're lucky we are in a class of dark sky that is like the best where the state park is. I mean, the only thing that's better is to get out into outer space.
Okay. I think there's a measurement, and Dawn, you probably know this. It's like a Bortle scale, Bortle 1 through 6, and I think it's the lower number means the darker. I think that's the way it goes.
Yes. Yes, you're
So
right.
what like for example, we're going to talk about Spring Valley State Park. What is the Bortle scale for the park?
Yeah, so 1 is the darkest,
One's darkest.
and Spring Valley, which is the reason that we chose one of the reasons that we chose that particular park, is because Spring Valley's at 2.
Wow. Okay. So that's pretty darn good. I mean, it's enough said. I know how dark it is and it's fantastic up there. I have to ask though, the photos behind you, are these like came up on Canva, or are these photos that have been taken in your dark skies?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Both, yeah,
Excellent.
mine.
I love that. So this idea began to percolate, and your Dawn, did Marcia come to you and say, "Hey, I've got this idea, or we want to do this. What do you think?" How does this start to then get noticed inside the state of Nevada, and in the department that manages the state parks and the land? How do you then take this information and say, "Yes, this is something we want to get our arms around as well"?
Well, I was really excited when Marcia brought it up because it's something that I wanted to do for a long time. Now, initially, when I first started here 16 years ago, I thought maybe we could do it at Cathedral Gorge. Unfortunately, the lighting even around Cathedral Gorge has gotten to a point where Spring Valley is even darker than it is here. We're still very dark, but not quite as dark. So we looked around to see which park would benefit the most, and that was Spring Valley. So then we have to go to the park ranger at that park. We have to talk to the regional manager, and then the regional manager will go to Carson City and talk to the director to make sure that everything's above board. And of course, everybody was very excited because the only national park in the state is Great Basin,
Right.
and they have been designated a dark skies park, but they're another 2 hours north of us.
Right.
And so we're just 3 hours out of Las Vegas, and you'd have to drive another 2 hours to get up there. So we have the advantage of being a lot closer to Vegas and to still have very dark skies here.
That's fantastic. Any way you don't have to have that light dome is a good thing from coming from Vegas. And I love the fact too, from Las Vegas, and I see this in some of the other communities, like down in Searchlight with Aviquame, and then Boulder City is a dark sky, or I think they either have been designated or they're pursuing to become a dark sky community, and they've gone through the steps to like have different lighting fixtures outside for the streets. But I love the fact that I can land or visit Las Vegas, and I can go, just 3 hours is nothing for a drive. I never realized how tall the state of Nevada was, and it's like this takes you a long time to even get up to say Reno or Carson City, but the in the middle of the state, or 3 hours north, is this wonderful community of people that live here, work there, and enjoy Caliente, Pioche. But then you have these wonderful parks nearby, and it's like you could spend a large amount of time just enjoying the rural Nevada, these wonderful parks in the dark sky. And I just think that is totally amazing. Like, yeah, come to Vegas, but get in the car and drive north was what I usually will tell my friends who are coming for a visit. So, in addition to this initiative, and I want to talk more about it, are there other types of initiatives that both of you would be partnering with in the Lincoln County Authority of Tourism and the parks? What are some of those other initiatives, Marcia?
Okay, so this is just the beginning. So in order to identify and to share the concept of dark skies, we kind of picked on let's get a certification. Let's go for that. So it's a big process, and we're still in the application process.
Okay.
But from there, we start working on the dark sky communities, dark sky awareness. Even our little communities, if you pull us up on a light pollution chart, you'll see that all of our little communities are blasting off a lot of blue light around them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an education process. And I think this will be our next step, is to start educating our communities so that they can be more conscious of their lighting and hopefully start reducing that. I would say that's our biggest next step. And I know that's one that the state of Nevada is very concentrated on with their Starry Skies program.
Okay. And I'd love to hear a little bit more about that, Dawn. But one quick question. How long is this application process anticipated? Let's say everything goes as planned, anticipatory. How long should this take, or you anticipate it's going to take?
Yes, that's my question. The once we get the application in, and you can't even submit the application until you've got night sky monitors up that are registering night sky quality for a certain period of time. You need to do outreach programs, and you've got a lot of checklists to go through.
Mhm.
And once that's done and the application goes in, it's going to take us anywhere from 2 to 6 months for them
Okay.
to approve it.
Okay. Now, a couple month or so back when I was at Aviquame, I know at the end of the event, they took folks out that volunteer to go out and do the monitoring and the measurements. Typically, how many times, if you don't know this, I get it. I promised you no gotcha questions, but you're an executive director. You're supposed to know this stuff. As you go out and do the measurements, is it so many measurements within this geographic area of the park that have to happen over a period of time?
Well, they allow us to put it in like one location in the park, and then they literally do it nightly. And
Okay.
then we come and we pull those statistics down. The park ranger comes in and he's got a little Bluetooth device that pulls that information down, and we start keeping track of it. So it stores it up, and that's part of what we include with the application.
Okay. So Dawn, on your side, what are you doing right now to kind of help prepare for this initiative, in addition to attending meetings, but out with the community inside the park? How are you helping to facilitate this application process?
Well, one of the things that Marcia mentioned is the outreach. So we have to do a number of outreach programs, and since programs are what I do as my job, we have to explain to people why dark skies are important and why they're so important to keep them dark and how to do that. So I offer, and when Las Vegas Astronomical Society was here in September, we did a little program on all of that. Night skies are important for your health. They're important for wildlife. How do you make sure that you keep your dark skies? Well, don't put lights where they're not needed. When you do have lights, make sure they're aimed downward, and then make sure that they're on motion detectors. So the only time they're coming on is when they're actually needed. So those types of things are part of what I do to ensure that the public knows what is going on and why we're doing it. And that's what Marcia was saying. Kind of our next step is probably going to be looking at how do we let the rest of the community know and hopefully bring them kind of into the fold to do these things. Because when I said earlier that it's not as dark at Cathedral as it used to be, it's because some of the businesses around here don't have downlighting.
Mhm.
And even if they just change their lights from lights that shine up into the sky to lights that shine down onto the ground when they're needed, that would go a long way to make it even darker here and in the communities.
Okay. Now, I'm curious, and I am not a journalist by training. I'm a recovering IT business consultant, and my day job is I am a coach. But I do realize some folks don't want to be told what to do. It's my land, my business. I get to do what I want to do. I'm paying my taxes. How do you, and either or both of you get to chime in on this, how do you present this persuasive argument about why this is good for the residents? Because I mean, if I'm an astronomy enthusiast, dark sky, I love getting out to the desert and just seeing the stars. I like to have a beverage while I'm doing that, preferably. But but it's an easy argument for me. I get it. I'll do whatever I can because I want to go out. And when my eyes adjust, there's the Milky Way. But what are some of the opportunities you have or are thinking about, or perhaps even this podcast could be of help to help the residents, the community understand why this is really good stuff for all of us? Dawn, why don't you chime in first?
I think one of the things, and I'm also part of LCAT as I'm the parks representative for LCAT. And so we try to do a lot of things through there also to have like public meetings, different types of programs where we want the business people to buy into the different things that we're doing. And I think for the most part in our community, we're pretty lucky because a lot of them are very cooperative.
Mm.
Now, don't get me wrong, there are some who are kind of a little resistant to some things, but they understand I think a lot of them understand the importance, and they would definitely look at doing something different if they could help.
Okay. Okay. Marcia, what's your take on this?
Well, part of what we do as Lincoln County Tourism is promote economic development through tourism. So people understand when we're talking about their pocketbooks. So if we go into a business and we say, in order for us to encourage more tourism, we're going to do this new dark sky thing, and we'd like you to be on board with it. And being
Mhm.
on board with it, it translates to X, Y, and Z, which then gives you business.
Okay.
So anything that we can do to increase tourism will help their businesses. And it's taken us quite a few years for them to really understand that. But
Mhm.
I think we're making great progress. We really are.
Okay. Marcia, what is some of the other initiatives that are going on within your purview to attract visitors to the county and to your Caliente and the Pioche and all the other communities to get interested in, say, the dark sky experience itself? What are some of the, in addition to this initiative, what else are you doing actively?
Well, I think we could probably tag into the fact that we have Lincoln County excursions that we've been putting together, and it's going to be doing like tour excursions of special events and events that pull in people through an advertising campaign to just come up for a dark skies experience. So we'll be selling that as an experience that they didn't know they could do. They don't know where to go particularly, or maybe they don't have the right camping gear or something. And we can connect them with hotels and all the hospitality factors and make sure that they aren't out there freezing their little fannies off in the middle of the night. So it's like, so we're trying to be very conscious of our tourism packaging, and including dark skies is obviously just one of the pieces of the puzzle.
Okay, very good. On Facebook, this time of the year, I get this Facebook post, and I'm probably a part of I think I'm on their search list for some reason. But they advertise this dark sky getaways where they have these little four weather tents. Come out and camp. You can have the tent, and they have all this programming around just seeing the dark skies. And that's, as you were sharing that, that's what I was envisioning. Because I mean, I would love 3 hours away, nothing. Just Friday, I'm out of here. I'm going to go drive up and stay a couple of nights, see some dark sky, and just relax and get away from work and just take advantage of the beauty of your area plus the skies. That's fantastic. Don, earlier the idea of the starry sky and programming was brought up. What Tell us more about that.
Well, what we're looking at doing, we have, like I said, Las Vegas Astronomical Society is here a couple times a year,
Right.
and we always try to do programming around theirs. But now that we're trying to get Spring Valley to be a state park, and we have other dark skies areas in the county,
Hmm.
we're going to expand that to be able to do a number of different things, just like you're talking about. Take people out, have them there for a weekend, take some telescopes. One of our other parks currently within the county, Kershaw Ryan State Park, they do a program during the summertime, like once a month, where you can come out on a Saturday and they have their telescope out. So it's just a number of different parks and different places where we're going to be able to allow people to look through telescopes, which is what we do when the Las Vegas Astronomical Society is here. They put their
Okay.
telescopes out and we invite the public to come learn about the stars and to be able to look through a telescope and get them involved in, maybe they want to buy a telescope themselves, or maybe one of these new fancy picture takers that you were talking about earlier. And so to get them involved and the community involved in those types of things. And we also try, lots of times what happens is when Las Vegas Astronomical Society is here, we'll try to even engage them with like maybe a Boy Scout troop or something. They might be
Hmm.
up here and then they will do a program specifically for them, or we'll put something together for a type of any type of group, like Boy Scouts or whatever, and then they can specifically have a telescope they can look through and learn more about the stars.
Excellent. Excellent. I would love if we could I'm going to share my screen. I'd love if we could take a quick look, say first at the Lincoln County Tourism, your website, and then Dawn will go over to the Nevada State Parks website. Just do a quick tour because that way we can highlight some of the experiences that are available not only in the county itself but also the Nevada State Parks. So if you both are open to that, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. All right. And hopefully technology will work. And let me just, so, okay, Marcia, I am going to start with you. All right. So let me center this so I can see it. So, Marcia, take us on a little tour.
Okay, so what you've landed on here is you're actually within one of our categories called discovering,
Okay.
and it's going to talk about the different state parks, and you're specifically on Spring Valley State Park
I
because he
didn't,
has,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So, and this one's going to spend a lot of time on the actual hours and fees and locations, some details about the park and what to bring in, what you'll find there,
Hmm.
how to get there. We're very conscious of the fact that when you get out of the city, sometimes it's hard to find your way around. So we try to give you enough information to get you on the road.
Okay.
So the note before you go and the events calendar. So these all link together. And then
Okay.
we actually have some wonderful drone videos on it. All these
I
that you're
was
looking at
watching this. This was pretty
here.
cool.
And this is just Instagram links from our Instagram posts. So we're very active with our social media marketing, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube,
Okay.
and
Okay.
yeah.
And I see oftentimes you're promoting your biggest fan down here,
Mhm.
the little
Yes,
guy.
our little
Okay.
alien guy.
Yeah, I love it. I
Yes,
love it.
he's
So,
our character. We have a little couple. We still haven't named him yet. We keep talking about doing that.
okay.
So on the homepage here, you're going to get your most current upcoming events. There's our little guy again.
Okay.
He's out camping,
I
and then
love it.
scenes from different events that we have around the area. We're very active in mapping, so
Hmm.
we have a lot of maps available for people, and we're putting together all these self-guided tours.
Hmm.
A lot of these links aren't. This is a brand new website. We just refreshed it, and some
Okay.
of these links aren't up fully, but we will have literally self-guided tours all the way for each of the major communities,
Hmm.
and get you driving instructions and what you're going to find and what's involved. So.
I have to say, why I love this interview with you both today is I've been to Alamo. I've driven through Caliente. I stopped off and got a cup of coffee and took a picture of the train depot. I don't think I've been to Panaca, but I certainly have. I stayed when we were doing Cathedral Gorge at the old hotel in Pioche. So it's like, I've been here. I've been here. I love that.
So, and then this,
Did you get the haunted room in Pioche?
Yes, yes, I think I did.
so this little screen right here with the Lincoln County excursions.
Mhm.
So these are going to be, we have 3 tours online for this next cycle. One
Mhm.
is an alien country tour where we're going to kind of get you out where the aliens are and what have you. We're doing the
Okay.
rock art tours and the trilobites. But these are we'll end up having dark skies tours on there as well. And even though, Dawn, forgive me for this, we want to do, we want our designation at Spring Valley State Park. We actually have several other viewing locations that are excellent. And if somebody wants a more one-on-one personalized things, we can send you out to BLM land and you can just do it on your own.
I
So,
love it. There's just
yeah.
so much to do in this area, and it's just like, it's so accessible, which I love. I love this. Before we head out to the state parks website, Marcia, is there any other highlight that you would like to call out here before we?
If you just scroll to the top, we do have under the events button, we've got a complete calendar of events, and then we get into the cycling events to spring, summer, fall, winter. So
Okay.
if you can jump on those, and they're going to give you different information. And it also
Okay.
talks about people who are from the city don't recognize sometimes some of the requirements of being out in the middle of nowhere, like, for
Right.
example, cell service and any kind of food service, gas services. But look, we've got some great stuff coming up.
Mhm.
Probably our next one is the little town hometown charm of our little towns doing their Christmas stuff. But we also are a center for coming out and cutting your own Christmas tree.
Okay.
So we're going to be promoting that soon.
Okay. Very cool. I have to share. I did not realize this, but I was looking at those family or kids playing hockey on ice. I don't typically equate Nevada with ice.
We don't always get it. That's the truth, though.
That's
Okay.
true. Although we're cooler than Las Vegas.
Oh God, I
Mhm.
remember that because I was up. I think it was when I was doing the dark sky stay over in Pioche. I was up there during like 4th of July weekend, and you had your banners up all through on Caliente and by the train depot. Well, this is very cool, and again, this is just a fantastic area and so much going on. And I love that photo. There's the Milky Way. This is fantastic. And you do have a store. I imagine we can probably get some type of alien style souvenir. There he is. Very cool.
And
All
we're
right.
restocking that. That's our old logo. So
Okay. Hey, when you get new T-shirts with the alien 3XL, okay, just remember that. Okay,
okay, you
Howard
got it,
wants a
Howard.
3XL. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I am going to shift over to Nevada State Parks. Now, hopefully this worked. Can you see Dawn, your page?
Yeah, yes, indeed. Yeah. So
Okay.
Nevada State Parks has their own website. When you go on their website, you can actually look for the park that you want to go visit. And
Okay.
as I said earlier, we have 6 state parks right here in Lincoln County. So if you're driving up from Vegas or you're coming over from Cedar or St. George, Utah, you have a lot to do, not just within the state parks, but outside state parks. But the state parks themselves offer a lot. Cathedral Gorge is right there. You can
Mhm.
see that one on the parks webpage. If you scroll down even further, Cave Lake is actually in our region, but that's up in Ely.
Mhm.
And then if you keep going, Echo Canyon, Elgin Schoolhouse, those are both here in Lincoln County.
Mhm.
And then Kershaw Ryan.
I think I
Ryan's down
passed
the
that.
canyon.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
yeah,
right in Caliente there.
right. Wow.
And you can see some of the other ones in the different regions. We have 3 regions within the state.
All right. So this is what I'm going to click on, right?
Yep, that's the one, Spring Valley
All
right
right.
there.
So I'm going to give a click. I love that photo. See, I need some new photos for my backgrounds. By the way, did I share with you, Marcia, that we're going to need a whole bunch of photos for our show notes? So you're in charge of that. That's my ask. But as long as there's at least one of the alien, everything else is your choice. But
And
oh, this is very
so
cool.
on the individual park pages, you can find out more about the park. You can find out all the details, what you can do at Spring Valley, how to get there, the different things it offers, such as the campground, fishing, all the different things, the
Hmm.
amenities. We have actually flush toilets there in the campground. We have some hookups in the campground. Some sites have both electric and water. So if you bring
Hmm.
your RV up, you can get those waters off during the wintertime, but it's on
Right.
during the summer. It
Okay.
tells you a little bit about our park fees. And then there you go. There's some photos, some different things throughout the
Snow.
year. So there you go. There's your snow. Yeah.
Oh, who knew? I didn't. All
And that
right.
picture earlier was also taken at Spring Valley, the one you were talking about with Marcia on
Okay.
Taylor's website.
Okay. Well, this is very cool. I love this. And oh, there we go.
Yes, we don't have any of our dark sky photos up there yet. I'm going to have to make sure they add some of those to the website.
There you go. Just use me as hey, I was on this podcast talking about dark skies and we need a dark sky photo up here.
Yeah.
I can send you one that I took if you like. No.
Oh, I'd love that. Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks, Howard.
This is very, I'm, again, I am just really, it's not amazement because I'm not surprised in and of itself, but it's that this is just so accessible from down in Las Vegas, visitors coming in for a conference, and before you
Yep.
go back,
Mhm.
spend a couple days, drive up north, and just enjoy these communities. And then you've got folks coming in from yeah, Utah. This is wonderful.
Well, and it's a total easy drive from Vegas, right? I
Yeah,
mean, all you
yeah.
do is get on the 15, take it to 93 and head north on 93. It's just a really easy drive.
I am definitely going to have to plan an event, plan something coming up just to get away, and it's going to be in your community. I am going
Oh,
to have
that'd
to
be
do this.
terrific.
Yeah. All right. I am going to stop sharing the screen and we are back. Before we head out today, and I do want to also just ask you both to repeat the website URLs and just mention the social sites. But as you kind of look back on the work that you're doing, I'm curious about for each of you, what I call them, your aha moments is when you kind of take a step back. It's been a long week. Maybe you want to sit back, put your feet up, go out to the park or whatever, have a nice meal. But you think about, wow, I get to do what I do for a living. Dawn, what's your aha moment?
Well, moments every day I walk out and think, I can't believe that I get to spend my whole day in one of these parks. I mean, it's just, they're amazingly beautiful. And the beauty of Lincoln County is something that I never get tired of.
Okay. Very nice. I like that. Marcia.
Well, I kind of already gave you my aha moment previously, but it's when I walk out on my back porch and I can see the Milky Way. It's like, oh my goodness. And I kind of live in the middle of 40 acres. So I I look out and I don't see my neighbors and it's just so peaceful and quiet. That's the other thing you don't realize until you're out with those stars and you're just out there listening and watching and it's so quiet. And that's like, oh, I found home. That's
Hmm.
the way I feel about it.
I love that too. And it's like with the podcasting, outdoor podcast, my coaching, I literally could do it anywhere. And I would be kind of cool to have a home like yours to just sit outside, do my work, and then enjoy nature that's all around me. I mean, I'm in a subdivision. I've got lots of airplanes flying over. We're on the flight path to North Vegas Airport, but it's just, I mean, there's nature around. I love going up to some of the more local parks in this area. The the wildlife refuges is one right nearby. But this idea that Lincoln County and all these parks that are accessible to you and marsh out your backyard is just, it's got a wonderful feeling every day. I can only imagine. So thank you for that.
Every single one of our parks is unique.
Mhm.
You don't go to the park and see the same thing. Now, I don't mean to put Grand Canyon down or anything, but you can go from spot to spot to look out to look out to look out, and everyone's kind of like, okay, yeah, I see a difference in the rocks, but it's all very similar. You go to each one of our state parks and they're all unique. They aren't similar to each other at all. So it's the blessing that we have. It's not boring here at all.
I love that. That actually brings up a question. I oftentimes see a post on Facebook, folks coming in from Europe or some other part of the country. Yeah, I want to see the Big Five, or I want to see the Grand Canyon and Lake Mead and Hoover Dam. And yes, I want you to come to Boulder City because I do work with Boulder City and see the Hoover Dam and listen to the Best Dam podcast along the way. However, I think it'd be kind of cool just to do an RV tour of your parks. Just spend a couple nights here, explore, spend a couple nights here, explore. I imagine there's a map somewhere, and if there isn't, there probably should be. That's consulting give me to you guys, is to have this map, spend your week in Lincoln County and visit each one of these parks. It's doable. Very doable.
It is very doable, and people do it all the time. And we have people who come here. One year, I had a whole bunch of people who came here from the Netherlands. And I was like, well, how did you? Oh, well, my friend told me about it. So I decided to come. And it was just like this, it snowballed one year where we just had all these people and they all knew each other and they all
Okay.
ended up here. And it's an easy drive from Vegas. It's an easy route to be on if you're doing national parks, because if you're going to Death Valley, or you're coming up the other way and going through Utah and coming around, we're on that loop completely. Fly into Vegas, loop around, do a bunch of national parks, and do all the state parks here in Lincoln County too.
That is fantastic. Well, I'm going to, as long as I am here in Nevada, and I'm going to make it one of my to-do lists to do something like that. I'm definitely going to come up for a long weekend. I will do that. That's easy enough. I am curious too, before we head out today, another question I often ask my listeners or my guests is for an insight to go. This is something you would like to personally share with our listening audience about. It could be a book, a quote, why the dark skies, why the initiative, why these Starry Skies program, but why should they come to Lincoln County and to the Spring Valley State Park and care about this initiative? Dawn, I'm going to tee this one up for you first.
As Marcia has said, and we have alluded to, our skies are gorgeous. It is amazing. It is so relaxing to be able to come here and sit under the stars and maybe have a beverage
There you go.
and just relax. In the wintertime, even, is a great time to come here. And I love to just go out. I too could go out on my back porch and look up and see the Milky Way. And in the wintertime, when it's a little cool outside in the evenings, the stars are so incredibly bright. It looks like
Yes.
you can just reach out and they're like diamonds you can pull down from the sky. And
Okay.
I think everybody should be able to experience that.
Okay. I was just thinking as you were sharing that, is I haven't planned my break between Christmas and New Year, and I think I now have the
Yeah.
spark of a plan. Okay. All right. And I know I have two friends that have back porches that we can enjoy a beverage of choice, whatever that is. I love that. I love that. Marcia, what would you like to share with our listeners for your insight to go?
I think the thing is it's magical to be able to do this, and you don't want to miss the magic in your life. So if you can have that opportunity to hop in a car and just drive a couple hours and start getting immersed in something that is fresh and clean and enjoyable, I think we've got that for you. And that's Lincoln County is just more than night sky. We've got great daytime activities.
It's true.
One of the things we haven't talked about is that Lincoln County is like 98% public land managed. When you think of that, our communities are very small. We have about 5,000 people in the entire county, and our county's over 10,000 square miles. So for us, that moment is you get out here and you're going to feel small and tiny. But then you can immerse yourself in that environment, and that's what you've got to go for.
I love it. Well done to both of you. Well done. Now, Marcia, before we head out, just a reminder for our listeners, where is the best place to go to learn more about Lincoln County and the dark skies and all the other experiences that are available?
The easiest place to go is LincolnCountyNevada.com, all spelled out. LincolnCountyNevada.com.
Excellent. And we also have your social sites. We'll have backlinks to the website as well as to your social sites on our show notes. Dawn, how about yourself?
So you can learn all about Nevada State Parks at parks with an S, .nvfornevada.gov.
Excellent. And do you folks have social sites as well, like Facebook and Instagram?
Oh yeah, they're all on there. Those links will be available on the website. Yep.
Excellent. So we'll have the URLs to the website. Perfect. Ladies, it has been a pleasure to have you on the podcast, and I am excited. Number one, that I have been to a lot of little towns in your area. I've seen the dark skies up there, and I know I'm going to be coming back for more. So thank you so much to share about this initiative and really the jewel and experiences that are available up in Lincoln County and through the Nevada Park. So thank you both.
Well, thank you,
Thank
Howard.
you, Howard. We appreciate you.
We do.
Excellent. Listen, stay in the line. We're going to do a very quick close, and then we can have a final chat, okay? All right, folks, we have just been chatting with Marcia Hurd. She is the Executive Director for the Lincoln County Authority of Tourism, and Dawn Andone is the Interpretive Ranger with the Nevada State Parks. And I don't know what, I can't really, I've repeated this a number of times. If you're coming to Las Vegas, plan a couple extra days and get up to Lincoln County. It is absolutely wonderful. I have been there. I have camped there. I have stayed in a haunted room there. I even saw one of the infamous boot hills, but I also enjoyed the parks, and really the starry skies up there are just absolutely amazing. And so if you have any interest in photography, dark sky photography, astronomy, this is the place to visit here in Nevada. And do go out to their websites. Now, we're going to provide the Lincoln County, Nevada website on our show notes, as well as the Nevada State Parks website, as well as all of their social sites as well. As for us, you can find this episode on our website, outdooradventureseries.com. We're on Facebook and LinkedIn on our Outdoor Adventure Series pages. The video of this episode will be up on our YouTube channel. And of course, when you're making the drive up to Lincoln County and you have nothing to do at night except look at the stars, have a beverage or two, you can listen to one of our many podcasts on whatever platform you get your podcast from. Just search for Outdoor Adventure Series, and we look forward to having you join us on a future episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. Take care now.